So another way to think through what is Asemic, and I presented these three kind of movements: Hurufiya, which is of school of painting. It's also a Sufi school from the 1400s, 15th century. But from the 1940s, this Hurufiya school emerges around from Iraq, Iran, goes down to Sudan, Egypt, Sudan, and the other side, Iran to Pakistan. And some of the proponents also are meeting in Paris. And then they also cross over a little bit with in Paris the letterists, who are the core letterists are actually Jewish refugees in Paris, and then they meet up with some local radicals and some other international radicals, Algerians, other radical artists, and then they move on to become the Situationists after a while. And then and so these two movements I want to think about in terms of relation to Asemic writing. So Hurufiya are really using letters, and especially Arabic, Persian, Urdu letters, which are similar kind of letters looking wise. And I want to think about that in terms of Persian semiotics. So Charles Peirce has three types of sign. He says there's an index, an icon, or a symbol. So the symbolic sign is something where it's totally encoded, like a letter of the alphabet. So the Harufiyas are really working with this symbolic signs. And the next one is the iconic sign, which is it physically represents what it is, like a sign of a bicycle showing that this is a bicycle lane. Now that the letterists tried to make their own letters. They were making, and they were kind of iconic letters. So they weren't too concerned with what the meaning was, but they were more concerned with the creation of these new letters and new sounds going with them. And then so that in terms of Persian semiotics, we have the iconic letterists, the symbolic Hurufiya, which leaves us with the indexical. So Peirce has this idea of the indexical, where there's certain signs, for example, smoke signifying fire. The sign is of the signified. It's not a picture of it, or it's not totally coded. You can work it out by just looking at it. And that indexical is, I think, what I want to propose, that is what Asemic letters are, Asemic writing is. It has been proposed before by myself, actually, that Asemic letters are anti-signs, that they're entering into a kind of negative space of signification. That is like, but I'm not sure about that. I think certainly in some cases they can become iconic, they can become symbolic, but also proper Asemic signs are more indexical. They are of writing. They are of indexical of what? Of emotions, of nation, of memory, of of the body, of gender, of all kinds of kind of identity formations that are left in the trace of our leaving a mark. Even when we're not talking about meaning, it's an index of us and of whatever we are psychically connecting with in the moment of transmission.